What is going on, folks? Welcome back to the channel. Here's a brisk 32 degrees this morning. It is February 7th. It's actually my wife Haley's birthday. But we're going to the river. Got some things that we'll have to do here in a little bit, so we're staying close to the house. I haven't made it out to Wise Lake yet this year, unfortunately, like I had hoped. The weather's been bad. We've had 2 to 3 weeks of just very, very cold weather. The last few weekends it's been below freezing for multiple days with wind gusts into the 30-mile-an-hour range, and that just doesn't make for an enjoyable experience for me. So, like I said, I've got things to do later, so we're staying close by. I'm headed down to a little place, a little creek that feeds into Lake Gunnersville, and we're going to see if we can find either some crappie or some yellow bass or white bass or something tucked up in this creek due to all this cold weather. And we've had a pretty good bit of rain as well. So I said I don't really know how much rainfall we've had. I haven't tracked it, but there's been a few good days where it pretty much rained the whole day. So, you know, there's an influx of water, and I know this time of year, you know, there should be some fish tucked up back in this creek. So anyway, I've got the boat. You can see it, and we're gonna get put in down here, and we'll pick back up on the GoPro, see if we can get on some fish today. Get this stuff out too, because I think I'm gonna retie with different bait. Let me show you what we're planning on doing this morning. I'll just float in the middle. Either that or that one. Both of these are like a monkey milk color. This is a panfish assassin. Oh, well, that was terrible, wasn't it? Panfish assassin, and then this Bobby Garland. One's a little bigger than the other. I'm gonna go ahead and retie on this first rod. These are little 1/32 jig heads from Walmart. Got a little smaller hook on them. They do a little better with the smaller baits. Man. Anybody seen? There it is. So anybody seen where I did that hook? Whoop. Bite off that tag here. Now I'm flying blind this morning. I did that whole install of the Humminbird, everything, and then something come across me, and I just decided that I had to sell it. A little too big, a little too fancy for the kind of fishing that I like to do. So I haven't installed my old depth finder again. I had sold it to a buddy of mine, and me and him were sitting around doing a little trading, and I ended up trading back for it. So anyway, there's panfish assassin. It's not super pretty the way I got it rigged there, but I don't think it's gonna matter. I've been seeing a bunch of bait jump in here, but what I was saying about flying blind, I have no idea what the water temp is. Now, we've had some good days last week. You know, it's been pretty warm. We had one day that it didn't warm quite all the way up to in the 50s. So I'm going to assume that the water temp is in the low to mid 40s. Excuse me. I doubt, highly doubt that we've got any 50-degree water currently. I meant to look on Captain Chris Flint's page this morning. I think that's who it is. It normally keeps up with that stuff here on Gunnersville. See what he's seen this week as far as water temps goes. There was a bite. Dang, right there while it's sitting still. Kind of felt like a gizzard shad or a skipjack or something. It just kind of like a swiping, which it could have been a yellow bass. That's always possible. We'll just let it sit still a little. Anyway, this is not the first time I've been out in 2026, but it is the second time that I've been out. We just had some terrible weather. And there he is. Yep, look at there. First fish of the day is going to be a yellow bass. Let me kill this trolling motor. Look at that guy. I thought they'd be up in here. Maybe that's what I'm seeing jump out through there. Now, open your mouth there, little buddy. If I had a whole live well full of them, we'd keep him. But since we don't, we'll do the right thing and put him back. He's pretty though. He's not quite, he's colored up and he's real light here in this cold water. But you can see the broken pattern in the stripe right there. That is for sure 100% yellow bass. Let him go. And again, we're flying blind. So it's gonna be one of those things where we're just casting around, just kind of making random casts at different targets and seeing what's out there. There he is. There's another one. Oh. Fell off. So that's 2 this morning. Well, there's a few fish up in here. Oh goodness, that's a better one. And we're gonna keep this one. Get him in the boat. There we go. That's a big one. That's a big yellow bass right there. Let me spin around here, get my live well going, and I'll talk to you about him in a second. All right, I got him unhooked there. See if I can lay him down my hand. Here, we'll just put him on the measuring stick right here on the boat ruler. That one there is going to be about 9.5. That's a good size eater white or yellow bass. I'm sorry. I'll let him in the live well there. Now, folks, like I said before, we will definitely take a mess of that. Oh, excuse me, a mess of those. Kind of watching that live well fill up. There's another one. He's messing with that remote. He'll keep. Not quite as big as that last one, but he'll definitely keep. That's enough water in that well. See him flare them gills out. Those things are razor sharp. He may not let me have his mouth. Yeah, he will. There's that one. This one's probably only about 6. Well, no, about 7. That right there is definitely what I come here to do today. It's always fun Yeah, you spend a lot of time in a location. I grew up, and I don't live very far from here. You know, about 10, 15 minutes. You just kind of get to know what should be here, specific times of the year. And so far, today I've been right. I've been wrong a time or two. A little early, a little late, things like that, but generally, this is what I would call my home waters. Definitely what I'd call my home boat ramp. It's a beautiful day out here. Watching the sun come up, get on the side of the ridge over there. Crane flying by. Fish biting my hook. Let's see if I can make it happen. Yeah, seen that one. I just seen one jump over there. Water's a little low still here on Guntersville. I think it was last weekend. I rode down to the dam just to see what was going on down there, and they had 8 of the spillways open. I know that we had just a lot of snow north of us here. I mean, east and west of us too. There we go. Sorry, I bumped the camera there. Get in here. Get in the boat. We found them again. School moved out. I told y'all that a minute ago, didn't I? So how about the school moved out of here? See him flare them gills out, try to get me. Dang old thing, turn him loose. There we go. He going in the frying pan. Let's see. Where are we wrapped up at? Somewhere up here. What has happened? Oh. Oh goodness. Y'all ain't gonna believe that. I hadn't had that happen in a long time. There's ice forming in the guides up there. That's funny. I'll have to dip it in the water here in a minute. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it now. There we go. Let's see if not right out in there somewhere. I seen that one over close to the point. There he is. Little head shakes. Another good one in the boat. I love catching these things. Just can't get your hand in your mouth too good. Look at that. That was still not as good as that first one we caught. That is a good specimen right there of yellow bass. Dang, that's pretty. Make sure I'm filming. Oh yeah, we filming. Good deal. Look at that thing. Golly. Cool, cool, cool. There's number 4. Now I've always said my rule is 5. Can't go home till you've caught 5, because 5 makes a heck of a meal. And that's not for just yellow bass, that's for anything. Big bluegill, shell crackers, crappies, bass if you're eating them. You do sometimes. You need 5. So, we need 1 more. In the worst case scenario, we'll have us a good meal. If I can cast over or not. Get close. There he is. That's a good fish. That's a lot bigger fish than we've been catching. Well, I don't know. He's just a good fighter. Yeah, that's as big, if not bigger, than that first one we put in the well. Just spin around on my hand here. Look at that one. Look how tall he is. He's not very long, he's tall. The shoulders on that thing. See what we got. See what we got. Yeah, about 9.5, about the same. There's number 5. Good deal. Good deal. Good deal. Well, if we wanted to, we could go home. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I ain't got no desire to go home, huh? Re-rig that a little bit, try to reuse that one. Now, I don't want to run that school off, but I ain't seen another one jump here in the last minute or two. I hadn't heard one jump while we're putting him in the live well. Wipe my hand off here. I'm just gonna ease forward just a little bit. Cast back toward that point. There's definitely plenty of yellow bass up in this creek. I heard one. There we go. Another good one. Another good yellow bass. Yes, sir. Good to eat. That'll be number 6 in the well, which will make number 8 that we've actually hooked and seen, 7 that we've caught, and 1 that fell off. So that's not too bad for a morning's work. Spring is just around the corner. There's no doubt about that. Is that lens? All right, I just want to make sure y'all wasn't looking through a puddle of water. We've had some unusually, once we get through January, usually our winters are about over here. I mean, you'll have the occasional cold snap, but, we're going to have some 60-degree weather next week. But then we'll have a falling off, be back in the 40s, and, that kind of makes the crappie come in and out, because the water's going to warm up. We have 4 or 5 days at 60 degrees. Water's going to get in the high 50s pretty quick. There he is. That's a little one. Yeah, he may not be that little. Nah. I'm gonna have to get my pliers out on this one. These are good and thick. I can't believe how thick and healthy these are. It's just the time of year, I guess. But my goodness. There's another one. That's number 7 in the well. Thank you, Lord, for this beautiful day. And the blessing that these fish are gonna be. There's another one. Oh, where are you going? Let's see if I can get you turned around. Dang, these are fun to catch. I can't get over how much fun I'm having this morning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's number 8. Now I've got to pay attention, because I'm beginning to think, I don't remember for sure, but I think 15's the limit. And me and Tanner figured that out a few years ago. We was fishing Wise Lake. There's another one. Golly. Come on, boys. Open your mouth, buddy. There's number 9. I'm gonna look. If we catch a 10th one, I'm gonna make sure, because I definitely don't want to be doing nothing illegal. I don't want to be taking fish I'm not supposed to. The Lord's gonna bless me with a good mess of fish. I don't want to do anything against the law. The Bible says obey the law of the land unless it goes against the law of the Lord. So I try my best to stay in the law, especially when it comes to the great outdoors and taking part in the blessings of nature and the beauty of this great creation that He's given us. Now I just seen another one jump over there. See if I can coerce him into biting. I don't think it went as far as I wanted it to. I've got ice in that other guide now. I'm gonna reel that jig all the way up. Do like that right there. There we go. Oh, dang, he was there. I was gonna go get them trees, but I've seen too many jump over here again. If they're jumping over there, they got to be close by there. That's my opinion. There you go. Oh, goodness. Somebody's giving me a call. I ain't got time to answer it. Really? I turned the camera off to take that phone call. I caught one more. We got 11 in the live well. See if I got enough signal here. We'll get on the Outdoor Alabama app and see what's see what the limit is. Yeah, I think it's 15. I wish that old boy right there would go on somewhere. They just put in. It's a lot more and prettier down here with well, that's good. See if I've got enough service to search it on the internet. Yellow bass limit. Look at that. I searched spawning season one time. How about that? Alabama. Alright, Google, don't let me down. Again, I remember it's not less than 15, but if I can't get it looked up, we get 15. We'll load the boat up and go to the house, because Since we're just like 4 more. I hope they don't just turn off. I haven't seen anything jump in a while though. There you go. Yellow bass is 15 per person. It's the combined total of white and yellow bass. No minimum length requirement. Okay. Well, that's what I thought. Dang. I don't know where they went. I hadn't seen nothing jumping. Or nothing. Thought a while ago and they turned off for a minute. Maybe they'll come back. Oh, what a day. Still. I mean, I'm not going to complain if they turn off and don't turn back on. They're slowing down. That's for sure. I do believe that they're going to slow up a little. There we go. Open your mouth. Okay, there's 12. No, that's not right, is it? Dang. I'm gonna have to go back here and count them again. I think that's right. I think it's 12. Yeah, that's why I needed 4 more. That's right. Woodpecker. There's another one. There's another one. There's 14. Good one. So he was still smacking his lips. He's gonna cut me if I ain't careful with him. There we go. Look at that one. That's a good one right there. Another 9. That was 9 1/4. Let me count one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 13. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're getting all bundled up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4, 5, 6, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right, boys. Get one more for an even yellow bass dozen. You know they're schooling. You know they're out there. So where are they? I need to bring them to you. There he is. There's number 15. If we can get him in the boat, that'll be 15. And he's in. There is our full limit of yellow bass. I don't remember exactly what time it was when I got here, but I remember checking my phone at one point and it was 7:14. Here's our last one. We'll measure him. See what the length is. He is 8 1/2 inches long. Number 15 in the box. My phone just buzzed. It is 7:58. It's been nearly 45 minutes. And I'm not going to say we didn't have a couple in the box then, but we'll just say about an hour we were able to get our full limit of yellow bass. Now I want this to go that way. Just this, basically. Right there. Just barely moving. We'll see if we can catch a couple more on the way back to the dock. Oh, me folks, this has been a lot of fun. I turned the camera off on the way back over here and just stood quiet. And this would be number 20 that we got in the boat today. Right here. They're fewer and further between out here closer to the dock. And that one's pretty small. But it sure has been a whole lot of fun. Alright folks, we got loaded back up here. That was a fun day. I did a little better than I expected to. Catch a limit like that. Ended up catching 22 total today. Limit's 15 after we caught our 15th keeper. I worked back to the dock and caught 5 more. And of course, you probably seen in the video if I kept it in there. One that come off as I pulled it up out of the water, and one that we threw back initially, the first one we caught, that was a little small. So we had a lot of fun today. I'm going to show you one more time what we were using. These are Panfish Assassin. They're the tiny shad in the monkey milk color. They're 1.5 inches long on a 1/32 ounce ball head jig, eagle claw from Walmart, and 4-pound crappie line, Mr. Crappie line, high vis, on a 6.5 foot sow belly rod, ultra light. Makes it a lot more fun. So yeah, get out and try this. That little tiny bait caught a limit of yellow bass in 45 minutes. So yeah, again, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave me a like, maybe subscribe to the channel, because we're gearing up for the fishing season again. Like I said, it's the last weekend of deer season, so I won't be doing that anymore. And we'll be back on the river again as soon as possible. Again, thanks for watching. Y'all take it easy.